In every single operation, there are these hidden problems, these little gremlins, quietly draining your efficiency and your profit. But what if you could shine a spotlight on those invisible issues and turn them into a clear, unmissable signal for immediate action? Well, that's the real power of the Andon system, a core idea from lean manufacturing that we're going to break down today. So let's just think about your own operation for a second. What are your blind spots? The small, unnoticed hiccups, the tiny defects that slip through, those minor stoppages that no one really tracks. The thing is, they all add up, and they have a real, tangible cost in downtime, in waste, and in quality. In this quote right here, it just hits the nail on the head. Without a system to illuminate problems the very moment they happen, you're basically flying blind. You're just hoping for the best. The Andon system, that's the light. So here's our game plan. We'll kick things off with what the Andon system actually is and why it's so incredibly important. Then we're going to trace its evolution, and it's a cool story, from a simple cord to an AI-powered tool. After that, we'll get practical with an implementation guide, and we'll wrap up with what is, frankly, the most important part, the cultural shift that makes it all work. All right, first up, what exactly is Andon? The best way to think about it isn't as just another tool, but more like the central nervous system of your entire factory. It senses a problem anywhere in the body, any workstation, any machine, and it sends an immediate signal so the whole organization can react, and react fast. And the name itself is actually pretty cool and descriptive. Andon is the Japanese word for a traditional paper lantern. And in the industrial world, it carries that exact same meaning. It's a system designed to illuminate, to make the status of production completely visible to everyone at a single glance. Now, this isn't some new tech fad, by the way. Andon has deep, deep roots in the legendary Toyota production system. It's a key part of a philosophy they call Jidoka, which you can think of as automation with a distinctly human touch. It gives machines the smarts to spot a problem. But, and this is the important part, it gives the human operator the power and the authority to stop everything and fix it on the spot. Okay, so the system's language is super simple and universal, starting with green. Green is good. It means everything is running just as it should. The process is healthy, value is flowing smoothly without any interruption. This is the goal, right? The state we're always aiming for? Now, a yellow light, that's a call for help. It's a heads up. An operator has run into an issue. Maybe it's a quality concern or they're just falling behind, but the line hasn't stopped yet. This is a proactive signal, getting a team lead or a supervisor involved before a small issue snowballs into a critical failure. And then there's red. Red means stop, period. The line is halted. A problem has happened that absolutely cannot be allowed to continue or get passed down to the next station. This is that moment where the Jidoka principle of building quality at the source becomes real. We stop, we swarm the problem, and we solve it right then and there. No exceptions. So, okay, a system of lights that stops the line. Big deal, right? Well, yeah, it is a huge deal. And the reason why it's so essential for any business comes down to one thing: the incredible strategic value of having total, real-time visibility into every corner of your operations. And if you're wondering about the payoff, the numbers are pretty staggering. Research shows that facilities that properly implement an Andon system see their productive efficiency jump by 10 to 25%. I mean, think about that. That's a massive return on investment, and it comes from just making problems visible and solvable. And this is where you see this amazing chain reaction. Faster responses mean less costly downtime. Stopping the line means defects never reach the customer, which slashes your waste. But maybe the biggest benefit is cultural. You are actively empowering your frontline workers. You're making them the guardians of quality. And all of this directly fuels a higher overall equipment effectiveness, or OEE, which is one of the most critical health metrics for any manufacturer. But here's the thing. The Andon system isn't stuck in the 1950s. Not at all. It has evolved dramatically from its super simple origins into a really sophisticated tool for the modern connected factory of today. It all started with a simple physical pull cord at Toyota. Then we moved into the digital era with alerts popping up on screens and mobile devices. And now, in the age of Industry 4.0, Andon is becoming intelligent. It's using data from all over the factory to not just react to problems, but to actually predict them. The technology has changed for sure, but that core idea of making problems visible, that's as powerful as ever. So let's put the old and the new side by side. A traditional analog system, it's local and, frankly, it's dumb. A modern digital Andon system, on the other hand, is connected and it's smart. It automates all the data collection, it sends alerts anywhere, to a manager's phone, to a central dashboard, and it integrates with your core business systems for really deep analysis. So here's the takeaway. Yes, the initial investment is higher, but the return on that investment is exponentially greater.
Okay, so you're sold on the why, you see the benefits. But how do you actually bring this thing to life in your own facility? Let's walk through a clear, four-phase roadmap to get it done right.
Look, a successful rollout is way more than just plugging in some lights. It's a strategic, planned out process. You've got four phases. You start with the tech and hardware, then you define how the data is going to flow, then you integrate it with your daily operations. That's key. And finally, you use it to validate your return on investment and drive constant improvement. Phase 1 is all about building your foundation, the physical setup. At the perception level, you install the triggers. These could be simple buttons for operators to press, or they could be smart sensors and cameras for automated detection. Then you need a control level to gather all that data. And finally, a visualization level. Think big screen dashboards and mobile apps to display it all clearly for everyone to see. Phase 2 is where you program the logic, the brains of the operation. You need a database to log every single alert and a system to send out instant notifications. But the secret sauce here is the escalation matrix. These are simple rules you program in. For example, if a problem isn't solved by the team on the floor in, say, 5 minutes, an alert automatically goes to the supervisor. Still no response after 10, it goes straight to the plant manager. It ensures accountability. And this next part, Phase 3, is absolutely vital. This is where technology meets your people. You need crystal clear, standardized rules for everyone. Who responds to a yellow light? What's the exact process for a red light? This makes sure the system is used consistently and effectively, and it allows it to integrate seamlessly with your other lean manufacturing tools. And finally, you don't just set it and forget it. You test, you validate, and you improve. You make sure the data you're getting is accurate. Then you start using that data. You run reports to find your biggest, most painful sources of downtime. And you use those powerful insights to fuel your Kaizen, your continuous improvement efforts. The Andon system literally becomes the engine for your data-driven decisions. And that brings us to our final section, which is, without a doubt, the most important one. An Andon system is not a technology project. Let me say that again. It is a culture change project. Just let this quote sink in for a second. You can have the most advanced, expensive, AI-driven technology in the world, but if your operators are afraid to pull that cord, if they're afraid they'll get blamed for stopping production, the entire system is completely worthless. Its success hinges entirely on creating an environment of psychological safety. So when it comes right down to it, the real test isn't about whether you can install some lights and sensors. It's whether your culture is truly ready for the philosophy behind them. Is your team, from the top down, ready to see every single line stop, not as a failure to be punished, but as a golden opportunity to learn, to adapt, and to get better? Because that is the true spirit of Andon.